So what we do is we start from the slightly basics of conditional formatting. For those who don't know conditional formatting, then we try and go to the advanced level of conditional formatting and see how it helps us in effective data visualization. How it helps us in effective data visualization. This is what the agenda for next 1 hour is. Uh, let us just start with it. Let us come to worksheet A. Let us come to worksheet A. In this worksheet A, we have of data which has names and the salary. Now, if I just ask you, a lot of us just mark which salary is greater than 3 lakh. Which salary is whose salary is greater than 3 lakh, just mark it with a red color or yellow color or format it with a bold or anything. We can obviously go here and apply the formatting tools. But I want to make it dynamic. Dynamic means the moment I change any of these figures, if it crosses the salary of 3 lakhs, it should get highlighted by whatever way we want. Either we want to highlight it, either we want to bold it, either we want to make it italics. Whatever we want to do, that should happen on this sheet. This is what we want to apply. If we want this to happen, that means it should be dynamic. What we have to do is we have to use a tool in Excel which we call it as conditional formatting. We have to use a tool in Excel which we call it as conditional formatting. Now, how do we use it? See, first and foremost is we select this data, right? We select the data. Now, where is conditional formatting? Go to Home tab. On the right side, at this place, you see conditional formatting tool. Go to, once you have selected it, go to Home tab. On the right side, there is one tab which is known as conditional formatting. Click on it. Click on this conditional formatting tab. Click on this conditional formatting tab. Come to highlight cell rules. In highlight cell rules, we have to say greater than. Right now, once you say greater than, it is taking something which is greater than a value. We don't want that greater than that. Just give me a minute. I have to move this off. Anyways, so what are the steps? Let us take this again. It is asking me greater than. This window has come up. Now it is taking greater than 2,63,000, but I wanted greater than 3 lakh. So where should I click? I link it to G2 cell. The moment I link it to G2 cell, what I am telling Excel is mark anything which is greater than 3 lakh. Mark anything which is greater than 3 lakh. And this is where I can put in the formatting thing. It is a right red fill with dark red text. If I click on it and I go down to custom format, now from here I can select any formatting. I can select if I want to put the borders, if I want to put numbers, make it bold also, that also I can select. Now first and foremost, how it works. The moment I press OK, see everything which is greater than 3 lakh is marked. Interesting is if I make it 2 lakh now, see the coloring from here goes off. That means the formatting which was applied to C3 cell is not visible now. Similarly, if I make this now 2,50,000, see everything which is above 2,50,000 gets highlighted. Reason being, instead of giving it a number, we have linked it to a cell, saying what if the value is greater than this, then make the highlighting, then do the highlighting. This is what we have done. Is this clear? Let us take the steps again. I'll clear off the rule. Let me bring it back to 3 lakh. Those who have not done this, we'll just take it once again so that it becomes easier for us when we go ahead. I'll clear the rules from entire sheet. What are the steps? Step 1, select the data. Step 2, go to conditional formatting. Step 3, highlight cell rules greater than. You can either give it a value. I linked it to a cell G2 and press OK. Now it is dynamic. It is dynamic formatting. That means it will change according to what the value you change out here. Hopefully done for all. If done, please put a yes so that I know the first exercise is done, which is to introduce conditional formatting. Wonderful. Let us come to worksheet B. Now there are few options, like if you click on conditional formatting, there are few highlighting rules, greater than, less than, between, and so on. There are some top bottom rules. There are some data bars, color scales. We'll see one by one few of them before we go to the new rule creation. Okay, in this what we have done is we have marks, we have total marks, we have just calculated the percentage also. Now what we want is, can we highlight the top 10 people, or top 5 out of it, top 5, right? So the process remains the same. Step 1, go and select the data. So now this is small data, you can still identify. Suppose this is very big data, it is difficult to identify, right? So what we have to do, select the data, go to conditional formatting. Now don't go to highlight cell rules, because it only gives you greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contains duplicate values, and so on. Come down to top bottom rules, click on top 10 items. But do we want 10? We don't want 10, we want 5, we want 3, suppose top 3. So I change it to 3 and we press OK. See, the top 3 are highlighted. The top 3 are highlighted. Interesting is, if I go and make this 480, will there be any change? If I make this 480, these are linked by formulas. Will there be any change? How many will get highlighted? 3, 2, 1, 4. The moment I make this 480, how many will get highlighted? 3, 2, 1, 4. Wonderful, 3, because this 440 has become lower than this. Suppose I make this also 450. Now how many? 3, 2, 1, 4. Now it will be 4. Reason being, Excel cannot differentiate between this 90 and this 90. Excel at the third position was coming 90, and Excel cannot differentiate between this 90 and this 90. So 4 will get highlighted, because according to Excel, this 90 and this 90 is the same. Even if I make this 450, now 5 will get highlighted. But if I make this 451, then the 3 will get highlighted. Although you are seeing 90, but this is not 90. We have, if you increase, this is 90.2. Right? So idea is, Excel cannot differentiate, and we could identify the top 3. Okay, we come down and say clear rules from selected cells. Yes, we can. You can filter it out by color after that, or only highlighted cells. In the next cell we could have done that. We could have just taken out the values from, decolor this, or you can use a custom format, and whichever is highlighted remains, other goes off. But right now we don't do that, Sharath. We'll see it later, we can discuss later. Anyways, coming to this again, suppose instead of top 3, I want to highlight top 10%. Top 10%. What we do? Select this off. Go to conditional formatting. Top bottom rules. Instead of top 10, we take top 10%. Suppose instead of 10%, I wanted 20. I'll make it 20% now. Now these are 15. This data is of 15 students. Now out of 15, 20% will make it 3. So top 3 will come out. If I make it 30%, see what comes out. The 6 will come out. So I make it 20 and I press OK. This top 3% wise, this has come out. That means if I delete off some data, the top 3 from this will come out. Anyways, suppose I change the value to 500. See what happens. Now this comes in, this comes in, this comes in, but this goes out. All the 90s goes out. Is not highlighted anymore. So this is dynamic formatting. Conditional formatting is used for dynamic formatting. Rahul is not there because 96, 100 and 96, the top 20% is 3. Right? Out of 15, if you take 20%, these are 3 in number. So top 3 are these. That's why Rahul is not coming in. If I make this 480, Rahul will come in. Anyways, so is this clear? If it is, please put a yes so that we go to the next exercise. These are small direct highlighting exercises before we go ahead. Wonderful. Now what to do? Let us go to Worksheet C. Let us go to Worksheet C. One of the common use of this conditional formatting tool, which I have been using for days. There are two ways actually to identify duplicates, but just to highlight duplicates. Suppose you created some entry, and or you wanted to identify how many people got say similar percentage. How many people got similar percentage? That means somebody getting a 76. Is there anybody else who got a 76? Somebody getting a 20. Is there anybody else who got a 28, 20%? I want to highlight those people. That means I want to find out who got the same percentage. So what to do? Just select this. I don't want to delete it off. If I have to delete it off, there is another tool which is remove duplicates. But here, just what I want to do is just highlight which are duplicate. That means if you make a double entry in the name and you want to highlight which names are duplicate, you can use the same tool. If you are collecting data from somewhere, if somebody has by mistake applied it twice, we can use a duplicate. For example, if we collect your email ID, suppose we ask you to put in your names for certificate. Now, if you put in your names, you fill in the Google form, we download the Excel sheet. Suppose somebody has applied it twice, filled the same form twice. Now the data will come out twice. We can identify who has filled in twice by selecting the data, selecting the unique item, which may be the email ID or something, and then putting this tool. So what to do? Go select here, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, duplicate values. Right? I'll just change the color scheme so that it becomes easier. I'll put it green with dark green. Or I'll go to custom format and say font to be bold also. Now see, the moment I say font to be bold, this becomes bold. Right? These two are bold. Why? Because these are duplicates. Suppose I make this also 380. Now this will become 76%. See, this will also get highlighted with a bold. Now these are bold. Because I did not apply any other format, only format I applied was making it bold. So this has become bold. If you have done something and you want to delete it, how to do it in conditional formatting is click on conditional formatting, come down to clear rules. There are two ways. Come down to clear rules. From clear rules, either you can clear it from the selected cells or from the entire sheet. Or if you want to check for all the sheets together, just go to manage rules. In manage rules, you can see in current selection what is the rule applied, or current sheet, this worksheet, this rule is there. In any other sheet A, this rule we have already applied in worksheet A. Worksheet B, we have already applied this rule. If I go to worksheet D, there is no rule applied. Okay, formatting, Kaushal, what I am saying, once you apply this, go to conditional formatting and you say highlight cell rules and you say duplicate values. Here you can go down and go to custom format. It is not highlighting only. You can fill it, you can put borders around it, you can do a lot of things around it. You can use a font and make it bold or italic, and then press OK. So it will change accordingly. Sorry. Hopefully this is done. Let us come to worksheet D. Now for data visualization, this becomes a very interesting tool. For data visualization, this becomes a very interesting tool because we can fill. That means if 90% is the highest in this, if you see the data, who has the highest marks? Anand Vikram Singh with 450 marks, who has got 90%. Now if we want to see it visually, that means we are using it in a dashboard. What, instead of highlighting top 10, top 20, we could also use something which says go to conditional formatting, come down to data bars and go and select this color. Now what this does is, whichever is the highest, the cell gets filled completely. Just have a look at it. Because 90% is the highest, this cell is completely filled. Rest are relatively filled. Next is 88%, so it is relatively filled. Next is 84%, it is relatively filled. What we have done is, we have just selected this, went to conditional formatting, came down to data bars and selected this gradient fill. Now in dashboarding, this is a very important tool. Why? Because see, if you change it to 450, this is highest mark. Suppose I make this 500. See how the coloring scheme changes. The moment I make this 500, just focus on the top and on this 90. See where it goes. This becomes completely filled. This becomes relatively filled. That means the moment your values are changing, this colorings is changing. So by the look of it, even if I don't have the data, even if I don't have this data, even if I don't have this data, I can visually see that Rahul got the highest marks. Even if the data from this behind is hidden, I can, by visual appeal of it, I can see, okay, who got the highest marks. So very important tool once we use it, put it on conditional formatting. For the dashboarding. Once we use it for dashboarding. Anyways, if this is fine and this is understood, please put a yes, because from this point onwards, we'll go a step ahead. Any doubts in it, please do let me know. Very, very, very interesting tool. We'll create something very interesting going ahead. Okay, can I just know how many of us have used this basic conditional formatting before? Just say used, so that I know we have used this. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now let us take it a step further. I just wanted to introduce this for those who have never used it before, so that they also appreciate it. Now let us take it a step further. Now if you see, there are a lot of tools out here which says highlight cell rules, greater than, less than, between, and so on, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets. Icon sets is another addition. So if I apply some icon set, see how it looks like. This comes like this. With these colors have some meaning. What these colors have meaning is, if I go to icon sets and I come down to more rules, it will explain. Green are the values which are in the greater than 67% of the values. That means whichever lies in the top 33% are highlighted by green. Right? Greater than 33% of the values, that means who are in the top 67% are highlighted by this color. And less than 33, who have got less than 33%, are highlighted by red color. Just give me a minute. I'll remove all the rules, then we discuss this again. Clear from this. I go back. We could have put some icon sets also, or some color scales. I'm coming to icon set directly. Suppose I use this. Now this green, red, and green, yellow, this yellowish color should have some meaning for us. What this means is, you go here, you go to icon sets, you come down and say more rules. We would understand what this icon sets means. Now what this means is, any value which is greater than 67% of the values, that means which lies in the top 33% of the values, will be highlighted by green. Right? That means over and above 67, whoever has scored greater than 67% of marks will be highlighted by green. Whoever has scored greater than equal to 33% till 67 will be highlighted by yellow. Whoever has scored less than 33% will be highlighted by red. Now this can be customized. You can say by number, by formula, by percentile. We could customize it. Even few other scales we can use. We can change it to this and say okay. So the color scales changes, and this is extensively used again in dashboarding and data visualization. This is extensively used in data visualization. Just try it out and let me know whether it's working or not. Just try out and say, just try and change few of your rules also. That means can I make it greater than 78%? Suppose I make it greater than 80%. How does this change? See how does this change? So you can customize it according to your requirement. That means if you want to show only top 20% with green, show top 20% with green. Is this clear? So data visualization is a very powerful tool. Dashboarding is a very powerful tool. Data visualization is a very powerful tool. What I'm saying, Jagdish, we can go here, icon sets, go down to more rules. Here you will get how you have defined this off. If you want to define this and say this should be, I want green only when it is greater than 80%, just go and press OK. You will get green which is greater than 80% only. See now green is only at 88, 90, 84 and 100. rest are yellow, and less than 33 is a red. So this can be done. Let us come to now. Up till now, what we have done is we have used only one tool, which is given out here. We have just selected it and did it. Greater than, less than, top, bottom rules, above average. You can try it out. Data bars, color scales, icon sets. Now what we want to do is there any way to tell Excel to highlight anything and everything? That means suppose this is the data. Let us come to worksheet E. Suppose this is the data and I want to highlight everything which is a number. That means I want to highlight the cells which are numbers, not the text. Now there is no option here which says highlight the numbers. If you check it, highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, there is no option available out here which says highlight numbers, data bars, color scales, icon sets. But still we can do it. Let us understand this. There is an option for new rule. We'll click on new rule. Right, I'll take it from very basics, then we'll go and do a bigger example on it. So I click on new rule. If you come down, there is an option, use a formula to determine which cells to format. The moment you click on this, use a formula to determine which cells to format, you have two things. Excel will be asking you two things. What? First is format values where the formula is true. Format values where the formula is true. Right? That means you have to write a formula. If the output of that formula comes out to be true, those cells will be highlighted. And you have to select what formatting you need to do. Let us see this again. What I am saying, you have to use a formula. If the output of the formula is true for that cell, the cell will be highlighted. Else, it will not be highlighted. To understand it better, let us first see which formula will work here. There is a formula in Excel which we call it as ISNUMBER. There's a formula in Excel which we call it as ISNUMBER. Now what ISNUMBER does, it checks whether a value is a number and returns a true or false. So I open the bracket, I say go and check this number, B3, and press enter. What will be the output? ISNUMBER checks the cell and tells me whether the number is a true. It will give me output as true or false. True if B3 has a number, else it will give me false. So if I am running ISNUMBER B3, what will be the output out here? True or false? Thank you, Sati. If I am running ISNUMBER B3, what will be the output? True or false? ISNUMBER is a function which gives me, if the output is true, it will, if the output is the number, the cell we are checking has a number, it will give me output to be true, else it will give me false. So if I run ISNUMBER B3, what will be the output here? It will be false. Why? Because it checked in B3, this is not a number, it gave me false. Now if I drag this down, see where the true is coming? Wherever there is a number. The same process we are going to use in Excel now. The same process we are going to use in Excel now. Let us see how. Let us see how. The first thing is select the data. Select the data. Go to conditional formatting. Come down to new rule. Come down to new rule. Say use a formula to determine which cells to format. Come in here. What was the function? ISNUMBER. What we need to understand here is, here it will not prompt you what should be the syntax. So we have to remember it, or we create it somewhere else and copy and paste it out here. ISNUMBER. I go and select this cell. Bracket close. So what it is taking is number $B $3. Now what Excel is going to do is, you have only linked it to the topmost cell. You have only linked it to the topmost cell of all the cells. Excel is going to check this same formula in every cell. That means B4, B5, B6, B6, B7, B8. Wherever it will find the number, it should highlight with a format. Suppose I set the format, then I ask you something. I make it orange. If I press OK, what will happen? Which will B4 and B8 get highlighted or not? Just think over it. My formula is number $B$3. Excel is going to run the same formula. Excel is going to run the same formula in every cell and give me the output. It will not get highlighted. Reason being, we have blocked B3, and because B3 is not a number, it will not highlight anything. Let us see this first, then we talk of it. I press OK. See, nothing is highlighted. If I make this number, see, everything gets highlighted. Why everything highlighted? Because I said the formula is number $B$3. Now Excel is going to the next cell because B3 is blocked, so it is only checking B3. It cannot go to B4. So what we need to do is, let me remove the rules. Let me create it again. New rule, use a formula. I say equal to ISNUMBER. Instead of clicking here, or I click here and remove the dollars, what I can say, B3, refer to B3. B3 is this cell. Or I could have done what? I could have clicked here, close the bracket, come down here and remove the dollars. Because it is the one column only, I can remove both dollars. Otherwise, we'll adjust it accordingly. Format, go to this, press OK. Now see what happens. I press OK, only these cells get highlighted which has a number. If I make this text, the highlighting goes off. If I make this number, the highlighting comes back. And simultaneously, just to understand it better, just see here. The cells which are the output of which is a false, you are not getting it highlighted. The output, wherever the output is true, the cells are getting highlighted. So what is the basic rule? The basic rule is, if the output of a function is true, the formatting will work. If the output of function in that particular cell is false, the formatting will not work. Is this clear? If yes, please put a yes. If you want me to explain it again, I'll take it again. Please let me know. Please put a yes if this is clear. I'll explain it. Wonderful. Simple rule which we should remember, we'll run a formula. If the output of the formula is true, the formatting will work. If the output of the formula is false, the formatting will not work. Now, if you see here, we have used a function which is ISNUMBER. The moment the ISNUMBER is applied on B3, the output is a false. So formatting will not work over here. If I change this to 4, see, the formatting is working because the output of ISNUMBER B3 is a true now. So same formula we have used where? We went here, new rule, use a formula determined. Here we have put in the formula. The use of dollar signs is very critical, because if I block B3, Excel is going to check the same formula in every cell which we have selected. Okay, let us come to next exercise. It will make things clear, right? Let us come to worksheet F. Now what we want is the moment we apply any name here, suppose Richa, we have something which is transaction number, associated products with it, the number of units sold or something, the name of the person, and the date sold. This is the data we have. What we want is, the moment we write any name out here, suppose I write Richa, every place which has a Richa should get highlighted something like this. Right? The moment I change the name, this highlighting should goes off, and suppose I select Aditi now, Aditi should get highlighted. Is the point clear? What I am saying is, the moment I change any name out here, the everywhere in the data where there is Richa, the complete row should get highlighted. The moment I change Richa to any other name, Shikha, Aditi, wherever we have Aditi should get highlighted, and the Richa highlighting should go off. Clear now? So this is what we want to do. So what we can use? Let us just try it out. What we can use? Because we want to apply the formatting in the complete row. We want to apply the formatting in complete row. What we can do is we can go and select the data first. Let us do this together. Select the data first from 201, not from transaction number. Select it from 201. Go to conditional formatting. Go to new rule. Obviously, there is no option directly available which can help me with this. So what to do? I go to use a formula determine which cells to highlight. What formula do I build? I say equal to and I say this is equal to this. Now we need to understand one thing. Before going to this again, we'll take the steps again. We need to understand. Suppose I write a 2 here, I write a 2 here, and I say equal to this is equal to this. I check this way. The output Excel gives me is a true. That means it checks whether this is equal to this. If this is equal to this, it will give me true, else it will give me false. Suppose I change it to 3. See, it is giving me false. The same concept I'm going to use in this sheet. Select the data. Go to conditional formatting. Go to new rule. Use a formula to determine which cells to highlight, which cells to format. Say equal to. Select this cell and make this equal to this. Come down and set the format. Formula is still not done. Why? Because if I run this formula, nothing will get highlighted. Because Excel is going to check what? Going to check F2 with E5 only, and E5 is not richer. So and Excel goes to the next cell or any other cell on the left side or right side, but it will keep on checking F2 with E5. Because and the moment I make this richer, the whole sheet will get highlighted. The whole selection will get highlighted. So what we have to do, we have to play with the dollar sign. Actually, what we want is Excel should go down and check whether this is Aditi. Fine. Not equal to Richa, should not highlight. Come down. Aditi, not equal to Richa, nothing. Come down. Richa, yes, highlight. But not highlight only this. Should highlight the complete row. So what I want to change is the row numbers, but not the columns. So I just go here. I keep F2 blocked. I go here and remove the dollar signs before 5. What I am allowing Excel to do is once you go to the 6th sheet, check with E6. Once you go to the 7th row, check with E7. Once you go to the 8th row, check with E8. And once you go to the D8, don't check 75 with Richa. There in this cell, once you are running the formula should run E8 with F2. Press OK. See what happens. Press OK and see what happens. Now if I go here and change this to Aditi, see what happens. Wonderful visualization of data. Now in a bigger set of data or in a data where you want to highlight and people to focus on what you are showing at that point of time, just create a drop down here and select the right thing. Yes, we have highlighted the whole row. I'll take the formula again. We have highlighted the whole row and not the only cell because we selected the complete row together. Let us do this again. We selected it this way. Let me remove all the rules and we do it again. Step 1 is we selected this again, the complete data. Now I went to conditional formatting. I went to new rule. While building the rule, use a formula. I said equal to check. I'm telling Excel to check this is equal to this. Now Excel will go to every cell of the selection. That means starting from B5 till F19. Excel will go to every cell of the selection and run this formula. This is what Excel is going to do. Now the moment Excel is going to check every cell with the same formula, if I leave it this way, it will take F2 equal to $E $5. Everything will get highlighted or not highlighted. So what I'm saying is just let me remove the dollar before 5. What it will do, Excel will go to E6, E7, E8, E9, E10, right? But once it goes to D5, E5 won't change because we have put a dollar before E. So it will always keep on referring, even if it is checking, even if it is running the formula on this cell, still it is E5 with F2. Even if it is running the formula on this cell, still it is E5 with F2. But yes, once it's come down to 6, it will become E6 to F2 because I've removed the dollar before 5. Now press OK and see the visualization. See the visualization. If you want to add a drop down over here, but you have to first create a unique list because here the names are getting repeated. So you will have to get the unique list out, then we can add the drop down using data validation. Anyways, just try it out. Data validation will work here, but the only issue is because you have, if you select this like this, it will take Aditi n number of times. First you create a unique list. Just try it out whether this is working or not and interesting or not. Please put a yes if it is. Please put a yes if it is working and you find this interesting, because now once you are making a presentation or in a dashboarding where we have drop downs, just select Swati and see the output. Somebody focusing, seeing the presentation now is only focusing on this and not on the other data. And a very simple formula. See, the only point we use is this equal to this. So anything, we could use an if formula, we can use any formula, and then we can put an if and say if this formula is true, give output as true, else false. X, wherever the output is true, you will get the highlighting. Wherever this is false, you won't get the highlighting. Okay, let us come to worksheet G. For color, once you have done this, you will have to select. Suppose you select this, here it is asking you format. Go to format and select the color. If you leave it blank, the color will not come. After running the formula, you have to set the format. If you leave it blank, it is getting highlighted, but the color is not showing. If you have to edit the data, one very important point with conditional formatting. If you have to edit the data, what you have to do? Go to conditional formatting, go to manage rules. See, here the rule is showing. Either you can select the rule, delete the rule, or you can edit the rule. You go to edit rule, you can put the format. Second very important thing. Yes, you can see the formula here. Go to edit the rule and see what formula was applied. Select the data, go here and say edit the rule. You will see the formula, what formula was applied. Moreover, very important thing. If I go here and select the data again and apply another formatting with another color, with some other condition, please remember both the conditional formatting are running. So if you have done something wrong, either edit it or delete the first rule first and then apply the formatting again. Otherwise, both the formatting will start working over it. That means if I select it again and I do something else, again go to conditional formatting, you will see both the formatting getting applied. So it may confuse at times, because at one point of time one formatting will be working, other point of time other formatting will be working. So unless until required, if some mistake has been done, the best way is to go to manage rule, either edit the rule. If the mistake is big, please delete it off and do it again. Right? Let us come to worksheet G. Let us come to worksheet G and do something interesting, out of business, not directly highlighting for the presentation and so on. We want to create a chessboard out here. I'll show you what we want. We want to create something which looks like this. We want to create a chessboard out here, starting from black. And see, interestingly, if I insert a row out here, if I click here and I insert a row, see, it becomes white, black, white, black. If I insert any row, it becomes black, white, black, white. That means it is dynamically getting formatted. It is not highlighted, like simply highlighted black and white. And then we'll do something more interesting out of it. I want to create a chessboard which looks like this. I want to create a chessboard which looks like this. Just a simple exercise. Idea is, if we understand, there can be n number of formulas, n number of logics. If we understand how to apply it, we'll be able to do it. Any idea which formula will work? I'll go back to the previous sheet. To create this, I've already made these larger cells in yours, 8 by 8. Any idea which formula may work for this? I'll take this, but okay, before use manage rules under conditional formatting. Manage rules is yes, we can, but we have to create a formula to highlight the cells which are alternate. That means one should get highlighted, other should not. Then one should get highlighted, other should not. Is odd, but then we may get how we will highlight the next these cells. And what is odd does, just see, is odd. Is odd checks returns to if the number is odd. How there are no numbers out there, Murtaza. There are no numbers out here. So it will only check the numbers which are odd numbers. So what we can do is let us understand three formulas, very simple formulas, and sometimes thought of to be probably not much used formulas. Let us see those first and then we apply it. The first formula is a row. Row. What row does? It asks you for reference. Suppose I give it a reference of D2. It will give me the row number. It will just give me the row number. So if I say row D2, it will give me 2. Why 2? Because D2 is second row. If I would have said instead of D2, I would have selected D8. The output would have been 8. Row function only gives me the row number. Clear? Row number only gives me the row number. Now I run a column. I run a column and I go to B2. What column will give me? Column function will give me the column number because it is again 2. Why 2? Because B is the second column. Suppose I make it instead of selecting B2, I go and select G2. So I know G is which column? G is 7th column. Clear? G is which column? G is 7th column. So row number gives me the row. Column number gives me the column number. Clear? Please put a yes if it is. To create the chessboard, wonderful, thank you. To create the chessboard, what third function I'm going to use is a mod. Suppose I run a mod. I don't know how many times we might have used mod. Mod is a very simple function which says number and the divisor. Which says what? Returns the remainder after number is divided by a divisor. That means if I say mod, it asks me for number. I say 4 and comma divisor is 2. It will give me 0. Why 0? Because if 4 is divided by 2, there is no remainder. If 4 is divided by 2, there is no remainder. I'll modify the formula. Instead of 2, I say 3. Output is 1. Why? Because if 4 is divided by 3, there is a remainder which is 1. There is a remainder which is 1. If I make this 5, 5 divided by 3, remainder is 2. So output is 2. So we have done 3 formulas. Which 3 formulas? If you can just let me know which 3 formulas covered, because we are going to use these 3 formulas only to create the chessboard now. What 3 formulas we have used? Row, column and mod. We have used 3 formulas, row, column and mod. Very simple looking formulas. At times once I was just taking some session, I said row B2. Somebody said C3 is already we know it is 3. Why do you want to use it? These row column formulas are extensively used for creating the dynamic lists. So these are very critical and important formulas. Let us use it here to create our chessboard. See what formula I am going to use is, I'll put it here, right? And then I'll copy this and take it to the conditional formatting thing. What formula I'm going to use is, I'm going to say, just give me a minute, I'll increase the size so that the formula is visible better. So what formula I'm going to use is, I'm going to start with a mod. And I'm going to say mod, it is asking me for row. It is asking for number. I say row, the number is the output of this row. Now it is asking me for divisor. So I say divided by 2. What will be the output if I run only this formula? Row B2 will give me what? 2. 2 divided by 2. Once I run it through mod, it will give me 0. Now I am going to equate this with another formula. Mod and say column, mod and say column, column, and refer to the same cell and divide by 2. What will be the output for this formula? Mod column B2 comma 2. again a 0 because B2 is B's second row. So it will give me true. If I run this formula, it will give me what has gone wrong. If anybody can help me with this, wrong bracket. Yes, very true. After column, it should have closed. Now see, it is giving me true. That means it is running this formula. If I run this formula over here, it is giving me true. But if I drag it across, it will give me false in the next. Why false in the next? Any idea why false in the next? Because mod row C2 divided by 2 will be 0. But mod column C2 divided by 2 will give me 1. Now 0 is comparing with 1. 0 is comparing with 1, right? So this will give me 0, this will give me 1. So it becomes a false. The moment it becomes a false, it won't get highlighted. I drag it down. See, it becomes a false out here also. Why now? Column remains 2 divided by 2, 0, but this becomes a 3 divided by 2, which is 1. I am going to use the same formula and create the chessboard. Is the formula clear, or you want me to repeat it again? I'll do it. Please do let me know. If it is clear, please put a yes. If it is not, please do let me know. I'll repeat, Utkarsh. Others, please let me know, is the formula clear? Okay, I have used the simple 3 formulas. I'll repeat it for those who could not know. Others, please keep on letting me know for whom this is clear. I am going to use a very simple formula with a row, column, and mod. What I am saying, see, I am going to check. I am checking this B2 cell. Then I want to check C2 cell. I know if B2 cell is a true, it will get highlighted. C2 cell is a false, it won't get highlighted. Now, if I drag this across, see, alternate true false is coming with my formula. That means this will get highlighted, this won't. This will get highlighted, this won't. This will get highlighted, this won't. And this is what I want. The formula which I have used is very simple. I started with a mod. It is mod was asking me what number to check and what is the divisor. I said your number is output of this row. So output of row B2 is 2, and I said divided by 2. So once it divided 2 by 2, it gave, there was no remainder, so output will be 0. And I said match it with mod column B2 comma 2 comma 2. Now on the right side, if you see, column B2 will again give you 2 because B is the second column. 2 divided by 2 will be 0. So in this cell, which is B2, this complete function is true. Why? Because this side will match this side. 0 will be equal to 0, so output will be true, which you are getting. The moment I drag this across to this, see, now the formula is changing because it is relatively referring. This becomes C2. Now C2, row C2. Still it is second row. So 2 divided by 2 will give you 0. But on the right side, this formula is going to give you 0. But this side, column C is the third column. So it will divide 3 by 2, which will give you 1. So 2 is not equal to 0, is not equal to 1. So you will get what? You will get a false. You will get a false. This is what is being done. And alternatively, this will keep on happening. Let us apply it here. Select the area. Select the area. Go to conditional formatting. New rule. Go to conditional formatting, new rule. Go to conditional formatting, new rule. Use a formula to determine which cells to format. Equal to. Right? Same formula which I used there. Mod. You could have copied it from there and pasted it here if it's not clear how to create it here. Row. B2, but I need not block B2. If I click it here, it will become $B $2. So I type it out. B2, comma 2, comma 2 should be equal to mod column B2, comma 2. So what I'm saying, mod row B2, comma 2 should be mod row B2, comma 2 should be equal to mod column B2, comma 2. Format, and I say black. Press OK. Now see, every alternate is a black. Press OK. See, this is coming in. Just try it out and let me know. So it is coming. It is coming. The moment I insert a row, it starts from the third. So white black starts coming in. Wonderful. Now, if I wanted a sheet where I wanted a yellow here, you don't have to do anything. You have to select the data again, right? There is one function which is not. If I put a not before it, and close it out here, see this true, output true becomes a false. That means not has nothing to do. Not will do what? Just change false to true and true to false. So I'll select this formula. I'm going to use the same formula again. I'm going to select the data again. Conditional formatting, new rule. I said both rules will start working, formula. And here I put the formula with a not. I've just introduced a not. That means I want wherever there was a true, now it becomes a false, and false becomes a true. Format, I make it yellow. Format, I make it yellow and press OK. See what happens. Because now this false has become true and true has become false for the next conditional formatting. Now these are colored with a yellow. That have used the same formula but put a not before it. Not will change true to false and false to true. Please let me know whether it is working and it is interesting. First, let me know whether it's working. Please put a yes. See, data visualization with graphs and charts with conditional formatting is very exciting. Right? We could have created a sheet something like this, although the time will not permit. So I'll stop here, but I'll show you something. We could have created a sheet something like this also, where we could have gone here and suppose this is my data and I want to select this America completely and January and highlighted whatever is the result. So I could have created a drop down here and I could have gone here India, so it will keep on changing accordingly. We could have created this, we could have created a lot more, right? But right now, because time won't permit to go ahead with that, just let me know whether this is clear and whether first let me know whether this is interesting, this particular sheet which we have created right now with the three simple formulas. Wonderful. And these visualizations, when applied correctly, is very, very, very powerful. And if one day we do free webinar or any webinar, we'll see something very different. We'll see without using conditional formatting, can we create something dynamic highlighting? Has anybody created dynamic highlighting without using conditional formatting? Has anybody created dynamic formatting without using conditional formatting? That means dynamic highlighting should happen without using conditional formatting. Yes, I have to share all the recordings. It was taking time. I'll do that. We'll do that. Everything you will get. Anyways, so this is done, and the recordings will be available. This was still one, so we stop right now.